All right, let's get into our coffee shop Q&A. Thanks for coming to the next segment of the Business Life and Coffee Show. This is our coffee shop Q&A, and this is our virtual mentorship section. Whether I'm sharing with you something that's on my heart that I've been studying for a while that I want to share with you, or if I've got a really great guest. Well, this segment, we've got a really great guest. Brooke Giguere is the crossover coach, and she basically helps leaders get out of their own way, get unstuck, if you will. And we're going to have a conversation where we just talk about how do you do that? How did she get started? What are some tips that she has for you? So Brooke, say hello to the audience.
Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? Good to see you, Joey.
Good to see you too. So tell people how we got connected, because in the midst of this COVID season, networking and relationship building is still happening. So how did we get to know one another?
We are connected through the Gathering Spot, which is a membership club here in Atlanta and DC. And I've actually made more connections through this and was actually having this conversation with other TGS members about how deeper and more meaningful our connections have been through COVID, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's cool. And I mean, I haven't even been to the spot in Atlanta yet. And the one in DC, at least as of this recording, is yet to open. And I'm learning so much. I'm getting into the community. We have like a little IG group started. And I mean, it just feels like a great community to be a part of. So for all those people who think that everyone is alone at home and there's no way to reach out, there's a lot of networking happening. You just have to get out there.
Yeah. Be intentional and be deliberate. Like set your intention in your mind of what you're looking for and why you're looking for it. And then it'll come.
That's awesome. Yeah. So that's probably some advice that you give to your clients typically too. But give us a quick rundown of your business as a crossover coach and what made you get started.
Yeah. Background is in social work. So for the first 15 years of my career, which Joey, to say that I've been working for 20 years does not seem possible because yes, I turned 40 this year, but that doesn't seem possible in the realm of everything. 15 years as a social worker, found coaching and realized this is what I was actually doing as a social worker the whole entire time. Starting where my client was, empowering people to figure out how to help themselves, me not giving them the answers, but helping them find the answers for themselves, which is truly what coaching is all about. So went back to school, got certified, said peace out to the 9-to-5, and had no money, no savings, no clients, no business acumen, because they don't teach business 101 or sales and marketing when you're getting your bachelor's and your master's degree as a social worker. So I was surrounded by entrepreneurs and through friends and personal relationships. And so I realized that the universe had been putting all those people into place for this reason. So when I jumped, even though I was super scared and had no idea what I was doing, there were people around me that were like, yeah, jump. Like, it's cool. You can jump off the cliff. You'll figure it out. And so that was 5 years ago. I started with that and kind of worked my way for that first year of just coaching and getting really good at the skill set. And then my market, my niche evolved organically, which was the beautiful way I feel that for it to happen. I was being asked to speak on different panels, and I continued to notice that the people who were interested in what I had to say were minority business owners and entrepreneurs. And I'm like, duh. It's like the light bulb goes off. I'm like, oh, these are all the people around me already. These are who my friends are. These are who my networking and like professional colleagues are. People want to hear what I have to say. There's something about the connection. This is who I'm supposed to serve. So got really, really clear on that and started to unfuck vibes and align minds for minority business owners.
So Brooke, you're 5 years in, and every business knows that getting over that 5-year hurdle or getting to that 5-year mark is a reason for celebration. But at what point did you realize, or did you think, or was it confirmed for you that I may have something here?
I think I always knew that from an internal space, maybe not exactly how it would all play out, but why? Like why I'm here. And I think it was still speaking to the same message of why I was a social worker. I want to help people. I'm a connector. I care about seeing people thrive and not just survive their lives. And that was always there. That running theme was always there. I think there's been moments along the way where it's like, okay, this is just more confirmation of these are the people that I'm supposed to serve. This is how I'm supposed to serve them right now. This is like, you know, the essence of what I'm supposed to do. Some of that is evolving and changing right now, but that constant of why I do what I do has been there since day one. And the how has just organically evolved and been more of a like, yes, 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 as it continues to evolve.
Yeah. Yeah. So Brooke, let's talk a little bit about, you mentioned it, evolving. Is COVID impacting your business at all? Do you typically do face-to-face? All right, it's a pretty stupid question, right? How is it impacting you, and what is it causing you to look at within your business?
It's definitely impacting me because I'm a grassroots, face-to-face type of a person. My business has been built word of mouth and then live events that I would do here in the Atlanta area. So that COVID definitely put a halt on that. A lot of people were like, yeah, but you could just pivot and do everything online. I can, but there's something, even though I'm seeing you right now and there's a connection right now, sort of, it is not the same as being in a room full of people. For me personally, I know what I thrive off of. So I've taken this time to just spend a lot of time reflecting. I was already kind of at the end of 2019 looking at my whole marketing plan and saying, hey, this is not sustainable what I'm doing if I want to continue to grow, because I'm just a one-man show right now, or one-woman show. So being aware of like, okay, what does this look like? What are the marketing platforms that make sense for me? Was already digging into that in 2019. Now, as I started to move into 2020, so I've just taken this time to reflect. I'm like, okay, cool. Like I take care of my current clients that I have, and just be a support to my network and my community that I've built while taking care of me more than anything, and just allowing inspiration to hit me, creativity to hit me. Does that make sense?
It does. It makes a whole bunch of sense. I think it's like uptime and downtime where, you know, you're hustling. You never know how, you know, it's going to impact your bottom line or customers that you already have and you want to keep them. But at the same time, it seems that there's more moments to be still and reflect. And sometimes you have to even fight for those moments to be still and reflect, because that's going to be one of the ways you stay sane in the midst of, you know, freaking out about everything. So I get it. Are you hearing from your customers, your coaching clients, how it's impacting them? Anything you want to share about some themes that you're seeing from entrepreneurs?
Yeah. And so like I said, who I serve is minority small business owners. So small businesses, period, are the big ones that are being impacted. I know a lot of people and have a lot of people that are in the industry, restaurant, hospitality. So they've been hugely impacted. And then direct clients, like my private one-on-one coaching clients, some of them have been directly impacted. What's really dope about everybody that tends to be in that inner circle, if they know me really, really well, and in that network, they are looking at these opportunities of like, yeah, this is really like F things up to a degree. Yeah. However, this is how I'm pivoting. I'm taking things that we've talked about and that I've learned, and I'm challenging people to not just pivot for pivot's sake, but like, what do you need right now? Is this something that's telling you to chill and relax and just go within? Or is this something where you want to get creative and see how you can embark upon a new avenue for your business? And one that won't just be sustainable because of this current time, but maybe it's something that you carry on into the future because it makes sense for you. So supporting people and allowing them to take their blinders off and to not always just be black and white, right or wrong, good or bad, but to open up to the possibility, which brings me back to that, like, why did you get into this in the first place? Let go of the how, because the how is kind of screwed up right now. Like how you've always done things may not be able to continue currently. But go back to the why you started this. Why did you want to become a business owner? Why did you want to start a restaurant? Why did you want to do whatever? And I don't work with just people in hospitality in retail. I work with clients in a multitude and variety of industries. So I think helping people just to kind of reconnect back with why, and then allowing them to get creative from that space.
All right. So you are known for helping entrepreneurs of color get unstuck, get out of their way. What are some of the symptoms that I might be getting in my own way? I might be stuck. What should a listener be thinking about or evaluating to say, I might need to call Brooke?
The biggest thing that I can say is when we get stuck in catabolic energy, and that's my lingo, so I'm going to break that down very quickly. You have catabolic and anabolic energy. Catabolic is that fight or flight response. So when you get stressed out, have a trigger, you go into that freeze mode, and then you either flee or you fight. Very, very basic, instinctual cortisol levels, all those types of adrenaline, those types of things. This has been a very stressful time on a multitude of different avenues for people. So the biggest symptom that I've seen is procrastination. And people are like, yeah, we do that all the time. But so one of the things that's really interesting with business owners and entrepreneurs, they tend to be extremely creative. And so shiny object syndrome, oh, I should do this, or oh, this is working for them, or oh, maybe I want to try this. Those are all different forms of procrastination. Sometimes, this is what's so interesting about having these conversations with people. You got to check yourself and realize, do I just really need a break right now? And that's why I'm binging out on Billions on Showtime? Or, and I say that because I binged on that particular show. Or am I avoiding something? Am I avoiding having an actual conversation with a particular staff member or a customer or client that it's not going so well with? Whatever it is, because procrastination is just avoidance. And we avoid in a lot of different ways. And COVID has actually taken away a lot of those ways that we avoid. But it's also kind of given us a whole lot more, because with social media, you know, the uptick of people being on social media and watching Netflix.
Listen, Brooke, if I see one more live, I feel like COVID came and then everybody started getting on live. I'm like, yeah. You don't do this all the time. This isn't normal. And maybe that's people's way of coping or procrastinating from, from life.
And I think you just got to ask yourself it's not something that it's like a one and done question, like, oh, I'm procrastinating, da 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 da. No, it's a consistent being aware of the present moment and asking yourself, like, what's my intention behind what I'm doing right now? Is this getting me closer to or further away from what I'm trying to do?
Yeah.
And when you notice, does it feel good? Like, if whatever you're doing, if it's actually truly bringing you joy, or if it's numbing you out, or if it's not making you feel good at all. And people are like, oh, it feels great to binge or whatever. But if you are not feeling good afterwards and you're not energized after that break, pay attention to those things.
Yeah, that's a good point about how you feel afterwards. And I think now more than ever, especially in like this COVID season, is if you are a business owner, definitely if you are a solopreneur, but especially if there are people that rely on you to be your best self, whether that's, staff or contractors or clients or whoever is in your like community, right? It's so important that you have to do whatever is possible or do whatever is necessary to get your best self in front of people. Someone was on Twitter and they were asking like serious question. Are you guys taking days off? And when places open back up, are you going to take time off? And my response to the group was, well, I've been taking mental health days at least once every 10 to 14 days in the midst of this, because there can be a lot that's on your mind, on your brain, whether it's, anxiety or whether it's stress or whatever, whether it's just working too hard, like you have to put a pause in place sometimes. And, I always feel better after my breaks, but, not everybody's doing that. And I would imagine that, that's one of the reasons why they need to call you, is because you're going to help people bring their best self to everybody that they need to bring it to.
Yeah. And not pay attention to what the world outside is doing, but start to listen to your own inner voice. That's one of the biggest drives ever, is people are like, well, what should I do? Stop looking externally for your answers.
Yeah.
Everything that you need is internal. So when you can shut up and listen to your own inner voice and get in connection with that heart and mind and really know what you feel, then you can move forward in a way that is more authentic, and then you won't be spinning your wheels or wasting your time.
All right, so Brooke, let's give our listeners maybe 3 keys to not getting in your way, 3 keys to, assessing where you are. Just 3 good tips that you would want to leave with an audience member, so that they could, say, oh, I need to call Brooke, or all right, I think I can go a few more days. What would you share?
I think the biggest thing is to check in with yourself. If you do not really know what you're feeling, if you're not paused in the moment, how do you know if where you're going? Like, are you following the map? Are you listening to Google Maps as it's giving you direction, or are you just blindly going? So check in. That can be as simple as just pausing wherever you're at and noticing any tension that you feel in your body and breathing through it and taking 3 deep breaths. There is a multitude of stuff out there for meditation, grounding, centering exercises, all those different things that help you get back into the now. But that's tip number 1, because you can't know what you need to adjust if you're not aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
So check in. Tip number 2, once you have some awareness around it, figure out what it actually feels like and how it aligns with what you're trying to accomplish that day. So I think as business owners too, there's a million things that you could be doing at all times. You could be working 24/7, right? When you can break it down and say, these are the 3 goals that I want to accomplish this week. What are the 3 things I need to do today to get me to these 3 goals this week? Break it down into small chunks. And the third thing that kind of helps with the goals and knowing how to break it down is doing a brain dump. And I don't know if have you ever done anything like that, Joey?
Yeah, brain dumps, mind maps. You just get everything off your chest or off your mind.
Get it out.
Yeah.
Get it out, get it out, get it out. Whether you write it down, whether you record it on your phone, I don't care how you do it, especially if you're feeling that tightness and that overwhelm, you need to download and get that stuff out, look at it, and then you can prioritize, chunk stuff off, delegate, delete, whatever you need to do. The flip, okay, I'm going to give 4. I know you said 3, but the flip.
Go ahead. Go for it.
At the end of your day, as you're falling asleep, list off. I say appreciation. A lot of people are about gratitude. There's a fine difference that I can get into at some other time, but list the things that you're thankful for. And even if it is I'm thankful that my dog came up and I got to pet my dog, or whatever, I'm thankful for my cup of coffee. It does not need to be some big, huge, monumental thing, or it can be. But if you can fall asleep listing off the things that you are appreciating about that day, you will wake up in an appreciative, aligned state, and you start your day much better. Plus, you just start to attract more of that in.
All right, Brooke Giguere, the crossover coach. How can people find you online? Where can people find you to do business? What are your social handles? All that good stuff. Let's hear it.
All that good stuff. You can find me at www.thecrossovercoach.com. You can follow me on IG at The Crossover Coach, Facebook, The Crossover Coach. You can email me, Brooke at thecrossovercoach.com, any of those things. Check me out. If you check me out on IG, all the other stuff will connect you to my website and everything else. Though that's probably the easiest and where I tend to be hanging out more than anything. So head on over to The Crossover Coach on Instagram.